Sometimes you're playing. Listen, boy, you're challenging with the running man. I was challenging with a hand. What you see before you, what they told you from nothing, man. Grand hustle over everything. And hit the king like an 18-wheeler in and out of air.
First opened in 2002. There's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions. It's been a tradition since the early days of the NFL, and we're off on Thanksgiving Day in Detroit. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now they try the right side here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Check 83, ball going to 83. Watch tight. Tight end right. Watch it now, Barney.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
We got three.
They'll set up to throw. The open man is Smith. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a 1st down. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 41. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And they'll run it here. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down.
4 down, 4 down. Alert.
Here we go now. 319. 319.
Patch it.
Detroit. Detroit.
Check back 16. Check back.
Back to throw here. And that's caught by Smith. Touchdown, Detroit. In for the score. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. And on the ground they go with a running back. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Miles Jack there to make the tackle.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're running right through it. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. An ideal start defensively. They already have the touchdown. Now they get the stop.
Just like they drew it up on the chalkboard. Does that sound dated? Right? Am I adding touch a little bit?
It's all right.
All right, grease board, heck, computer, exactly what you want, though. Score on your first drive, stop them on the first drive defensively.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. Back to throw. And Marshall's got it. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain.
Gone!
He'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition
All right, here we
does
go.
set in for a
Boone,
defense
landing.
because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. A first trip to the red zone for the Bears. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And it'll be intercepted. A great lead, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. A killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will fight his way in. Not giving up there, and he's got a Bears touchdown. A great play there. Touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game. Now the extra point try forthcoming. Extra point right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Lions now. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 2nd. short yardage to start things out. Looking right, and he'll get this up only to about the 33. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
All right, now, look at 56.
They'll look to throw now on first down. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down. Now back to throw. Well, it's caught on the right side of Smith. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. For Kidder here, it's complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Buying time to his left. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy that leads them to victory. You have to get down and protect yourself and not take hits like that.
They'll look to throw here. They're looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Looking to throw. Flush to his right. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield. At the 48-yard line. Now they try the right side here. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
All right, now, look at 56. Look at...
They'll look to throw. And he slings one that's incomplete. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on third. They'll drop to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
5 yards on the carry, good pickup on first down. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now a handoff looking right. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up first and goal.
We just saw what a lot of teams call a heavy set. 3 tight ends in the game. That signifies they want to run the football. Yeah, occasionally they'll play action and throw it, but most of the time, those guys on the field means strength, power, run the ball behind them. And now what a lot of teams are doing is they're taking an extra offensive tackle and putting him in.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Bears are in for 6. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Now they try the right side here. Bulldozes past him. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
And that's the big fella's M.O. right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Double tight, double tight. Hey, 4 down, 4 down. 16's coming, check Mike, check Mike.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there. So from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8. The Lions on third down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. They're going to look to throw. Throwing for his linebacker. He's got him complete. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Watch it now, Barney!
They'll run it now out of the gun. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they've bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Forced out to his left. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. No problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. This time they face a 3rd and 2. He'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll set up a throw. And he's going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Smith catches left side and brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down. Back to throw now on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. A good display of power, but it will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. And now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. He'll drop to throw. Flushed it, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. And his kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So they're still down, but they are able to salvage 3 here heading into the lockers.
This is what you work on from the beginning of training camp. Heading into the half, put some points on the board. No matter what the score says at that point, you've accomplished what you set out to do.
Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. So we're at halftime here in the annual Thanksgiving game in Detroit. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. That's fielded in the end zone. Oh, the spin. Oh, and now he bowls him over. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down. Close there. He caught it, just wasn't able to stay in bounds.
And that's where the sideline, it was used as a 12th defender. You know, 11's legal. This one is an imaginary one that my college coach used to call Sammy Sideline. Sammy Sideline can protect you at times, and in Nick's case, that's exactly what he did for the defenders.
Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be 4th down. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
So disappointing there for a defensive unit. You hold them to a 4th down in their own territory, you figure you've gotten yourselves off the field, and all of a sudden, here's the offense staying out to go for it. And they wind up getting a first down.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. A couple of first downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
A first down carry for Davis. And down to the 36-yard line here. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And they'll run it here. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Right back to him on first down. Down to about the 22 here. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense is getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Now a first carry for their fullback. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with 3rd down looming. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
3rd inches, they just hand it to the big battering ram there. That's football 101, isn't it? That's bread and butter. Turn around and hand it to the big fella and let him get forward for a first down.
And he'll take this one down near the 15. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
A good solid game there on first down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. And they'll go on the ground. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A great play there. His second TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Bears will extend their lead. And he's got it up and through. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because usually 5 up.
Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Here comes the Lions punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And he punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kept it on the ground.
First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Over the middle, complete. It's Baker. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. They can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And this one is right down the middle. And that'll make this an 8-point game. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, he tried to bounce it outside, but that's obviously not his game. He's too much of a straight-line runner.
Yeah, him in the outer third of the field, not a recipe for success. That time a loss. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They'll set up to throw. And this one is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Pope. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Nifty footwork at the 45. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Back now at Ford Field. It's Bears football here. They also have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's a give to Davis. Gave a glimpse of his quick feet, but not a whole lot of space down at the 30. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Escaping the pressure right. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell them, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we might have to go for the hot dogs.
A big one there. That gives him a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a lot.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, but I believe a Lion was there to recover it. Yes, they will indeed keep possession. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. On play action, they'll throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead. You've got to protect it. And he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Oh, they go with a tight end carry. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. And on the ground they go with a running back. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up 4th down. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will get the lead up to 14. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And past the 30 down to about the 27. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
No. Check. Patriot.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Flush to his right. And he's got a man open. That's Marshall. They give him 12 yards and a 1st down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off near the 44. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Well, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal? End the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Right side complete to Butler. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Look at the spin.
Balance.
He's got daylight. Touchdown, Chicago. A big play there. 67 yards. And the Bears will add on to their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. A big play there for Detroit. 72 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work.
And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer. Well, that was a quick hitter drive. They had the huge play to get him down near the goal line, and then they run it in. I don't know that the defense ever had a chance to catch their breath.
A lot of the time now when we see people hit big plays, and each team defines a big play their own way, 10, 15-yard gains. In this case, it was a huge gain. They often want to hurry up and go right away. Keep the momentum going, hit them again, and I think we just saw that there. The second play resulted in pay dirt.
And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop them here.
Here we go now. 3
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And Detroit getting set to go now. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
He's got his man on the crossing route. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Flushed out right. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards and a first. First down now, but that clock rolling.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
They'll try again from the 36 on second and 10.
Now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Leopard.
They'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he comes back with one complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
This is where hustle and urgency come into play. I think you've got to get up there and spike it.
Back to throw. Dancing to his left. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
He's back to throw. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up third down. They took their shot for the end zone, almost cost him.
And he made the right play there, knocking it away. But, boy, it looked like he had a chance to come down with the football. And if he does that, this thing is over. Instead, he leaves them out there with another chance.
Back to throw. That is caught inside the 5. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. What they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
Well, Charles, exciting to the very end. That's what we just saw in this game. Final play there, had it in the red zone, but anytime you're outside of the 10, that's tough. Try to draw up a final play to get in, and they couldn't do it.
It certainly is. So what they were looking for was, extra time. Too bad it's not FIFA soccer, right, where you get a little bit of extra and you get a chance to run a couple more plays and maybe get closer and take that last shot into the end zone.
So for Chicago, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 8-3 on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they've fallen out of things now as they sink to 3-8. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles. I'm